Victoria. Hope you've got your foam rollers at the ready. I'm very topical with my orange one, matching Griffin Fit. I think I've had this since before Griffin Fit, to be fair. I must have seen it coming, predicted. So all you're going to need is some water to take some regular drink breaks. Your foam roller, that's about it really. Ideally you want to wear quite minimal layers to really get deep into the muscle tissue. So for example, at the minute I've got a jumper on, but as soon as we head to upper body, I'm going to take that jumper off. We're going to start on the legs to start off with. What time are we on? So just give them another minute, see if there's any more, and then we'll get started. Hey T. No one's called me T for ages. Everyone called me that at college, and then it kind of died off. Don't really know why. Can't really shorten my name much more, can you? So the way that today's going to work is with the major muscle groups, we're going to roll for sort of a minute. The idea is that if you have like a bit that feels a little bit tighter, a little bit more niggly than the rest, then you hold the foam roller in that same place for kind of 10 to 15 seconds and then you carry on. But then those smaller muscles, so kind of around the shoulder where it's going to be super tight most likely, it's going to be more like 30 seconds, and you will see why. Snap! Same one then. I think I got mine from like TK Maxx. I'm never going to TK Maxx, and then one day my friend made me go in, found it. So it was quite a good trip in the end. Never been since. Okay, right, we're going to get started. So key points for foam rolling: you never roll over a joint. You want to try and get over the muscle belly as much as possible. Hi Ange, hope you've got your foam roller already. So we're going to start off today with the calves. So let me try and angle this so you can see best. So with these, the best way to get the full feel through the calf is to have one foot on top of the other to really apply pressure through that calf. If that's a little bit too much, then put one leg at the side if you can see that. So I've got one leg that's like supporting my body weight, arms out to the back, make sure you're not hunching on those shoulders. So really supporting your body through the arms and allowing to get as much of your body weight through there as you possibly can. So let me set a timer. So we're going to do this for 1 minute on the calf, and then we're going to change calves. So if you can, that original position with one foot over the top of the other to really get the full benefit. But again, not to worry if you feel as though you need to put that one foot out at the side. Just make sure you're not hunching those shoulders. So just a reminder, if you get to a point that feels a little bit tighter than anywhere else, then we're going to hold that for 10 to 15 seconds. So if you've found that spot, hold it there, and I'll let you know when your 15 seconds is over. So hold it in that tight spot. So I've not found any niggly bits in my calves, but no doubt I will in my shoulders. So just keep rolling it through, applying as much of your weight through your leg as you possibly can. Too intense with both legs. I know, it is brutal, so just keep that one leg out at the side. You wait till we get to the shoulders, it's absolutely brutal. 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to change to the opposite leg. So same rules apply. Try and roll over that full muscle belly without going over any of the joints. And if you get to a point that's extra tight, hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Oh my gosh, I know, it's amazing how painful this is, isn't it? So yeah, I do apologise guys, this is going to be a bit of a mean one. So I don't know if you guys, oh yeah, I saw your post Victoria earlier that you're getting a few twinges in your lower back. So hopefully this will help ease that off as well. My knot's getting a lot better. I've been using one of these bad boys, rolling it around in that knot to try and get rid of it. Nearly there. Hopefully I'll be better by Friday. Touch wood. You make it look easy. Wait till you see my shoulders. Oh, I'm awful up there. So tight. Okay, next up we are moving on to the quads. So again, there's two different approaches to this one. You can either use both legs, I don't know if you can quite see that, let me spin around. So both legs on and you roll back and forth. Again, all the way across that muscle belly. I'm going to spin to the side. If that feels like it's not working quite enough, then you're going to move one leg to the side, again supporting your body weight, and then you're just going to roll through. So I'm going to set that time now. So feel free to have both legs on if you wish, but again, to get that full benefit, you're going to pop one leg out to the side. So you can either let your, can you see my back foot here? So the leg that I'm rolling on at the minute, to try and take some tension away, I'm keeping that foot flat on the ground. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, a little bit harder, then you lift that back foot. So it's literally just about trying to apply as much of your body weight through it as possible if you really want to increase that intensity. But just make sure all the time you're rolling over the full muscle, not going over any joints. I'm not sure if you can fully see that. Hi Andy, you're right. So keep on going, you've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you took the double leg option, take a breather now. If you did what I did and you did just the one leg, we're going to swap over to the other side now. So your minute starts now. So yeah, they recommend that you foam roll a particular muscle group between 30 seconds and 1 minute. So I have gone for that upper boundary because given the present circumstances, I'm sure everybody will benefit from getting deep into that muscle tissue. So don't forget, if you find a point that is particularly tight, you want to hold it there for sort of 10 to 15 seconds and then you carry on. So over the full muscle belly, keeping that foot at the back flat or lifted if you want to apply some extra pressure through there. You've got 15 seconds left if you're still on this leg, or if you did that double leg, you can have that breather now. 2, 1. Okay, next one, guys. I'm going to give you a heads up. This is going to be one of the worst ones. We're going to do the IT bands. So it's the muscle that runs just around the side of the leg. So let me get into a good position so you can see. So I'm just going to tilt my body weight to the side. So a minute ago we were nice and flat for those quads, but now we're just going to spin our weight to the side. For this one, I'm going to put less weight through. So I'm going to have my back foot on the ground and I'm going to have my arm completely rested on the floor. And I'm going to put as much of my body weight through my arm as I can to take some tension away. So for this one, you're going to go sort of halfway down the thigh, all the way up just below the hip bone on that little tilted angle. So 1 minute, guys, off we go. So this is going to be one of the hardest ones of the day. This is one of the areas that you can't really tackle with a static stretch like we would in the gym. So this is why foam rolling at home outside of the gym can be really beneficial to get those extra muscles really stretched out. If you feel like you are really struggling, feel free to take any breathing breaks at any stage. And don't forget, because you are going to feel like you're putting a lot of intensity into this, even though you're only kind of stretching, it will feel a bit like a workout. So make sure you're breathing. Deep breath in, deep breath out. You don't want to hold tension in the muscles. You want to allow them to rest and really relax to get those knots out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to spin round and do the opposite side. So we're going to go straight in. Sorry guys, I know this one's brutal. Hope you're all hanging in okay. Mine's not as tight as I thought it would be. See, my legs are fine. It's just my shoulders that are the problem. Don't know where you guys are feeling it the most. You'll have to let me know at the end. So for me, the legs are relatively okay. But as soon as we get onto those shoulders, I'm going to be burning. Yep, it's definitely the most painful one. So as you can see, I'm applying weight through this front leg, and you can't see my arm, so I'm going to drop it back a little bit. But I'm putting my weight into my elbow. Definitely. I like your style, Jim. So we're nearly there. Got just over 5 seconds left. Remember, if you've got that point that's extra tight, just hold it there. So I've just found a little bit of a knot, so I'm going to hold it there for the remaining time. Okay, and relax it there. Next up, we are going to do the inner part of the thigh. So this is going to be difficult. I've got limited space. So what you're going to do is the leg that you want to work is going to be the leg that's on the top. So rest your other leg just behind the roller. So other leg on top. Same rules apply here. I'm going to put weight through that back leg and through this elbow to take some pressure off, and then I'm just going to roll forwards and back. This one, it's going to feel like you're kind of pulling yourself across the carpet a little bit, or if you've got a mat. Okay, are we ready? 1 minute, off we go. Oh wow, I surrender. Yeah, feel free to take regular breaks. 1 minute is the upper boundary, so I've gone for that so that you've got plenty of time to have, like, you know, a couple of 10 seconds rest here and there. So really want you to get that full benefit, because I know we're all feeling the consequences of this nasty housebound lifestyle. I certainly am. My shoulders are a mess. So this is one of the more awkward ones, because you're kind of feeling like you're having to pull yourself along a little bit. So keep on going, nearly there. 15 seconds to go. Don't forget, if you've got that point that feels extra tight, then try and hold it that little bit more. Okay, and now we're going to swap and face the other side. So the leg that's not working sits behind the roller, other leg goes on top. 1 minute, off we go. So I've got limited space here, I might have to spin around in a second. Right, I'm going to go further this way. So try and use as much of this minute as you can. So try not to hold too much tension in the shoulders here. Okay, you guys keep going. I'm just going to take my jumper off. So you've got 15 seconds left. In 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. Let's see what we've got next. Next up, we have the glute med. So the muscle that sits just at the side of the glute. This is a bit of an awkward one to get yourself into position for. So the best way is to sit with one hand down, one leg balancing. And then the side of the glute that you're going to be working, you're going to put that foot onto that resting knee. Feel free to put that hand relaxed there, kind of hold it in place. So this one, guys, is going to be a little bit sore. So we're just going to roll through that glute. Okay, your minute starts now. So what's really important with this one is that you're not rolling over the bone. So if you think about your thigh bone, it runs from the knee all the way to the center of the glute. So that's why we're putting our weight to the side, because we want to get around that bone. We don't want to roll over that bone. Oh, what have we got here? I know, it's crazy how much it burns. You look at it and you think, nah, that looks like it'll be fine, super easy, and then, yeah, it burns. Gives you a good workout though. Definitely increases your basal rate. So there's some extra qualities. So this one's going to be super tight. Try and power through as much as you can. Again, if you're feeling a bit, it's a little bit tight, a little bit niggly, hold it there for that little bit longer. We've got 5 seconds to go here. And you'll find, like me, you gradually get further and further away. So I started off quite central and I ended up over there. Okay, right, we're going to swap sides now. So other glute onto the roller. Just centralise a bit more. Resting the foot down, and then the side that's working, you're going to put that ankle over to that knee, and then off you go. So you can do whatever you wish with this hand. I find it most comfortable to kind of rest it on the ankle of the working leg. So don't forget to breathe here. Nice deep breaths in, deep breaths out. We want to relax the muscle, not seize them up. So keep that oxygen flowing through, breathing in. Just letting your body rock from side to side, using the weight in your arm and through your leg to rock yourself forwards and backwards. "15 seconds to go." So you might need to, like I just did then, you might need to shuffle your feet or shuffle your hand, because gradually you won't be where you started off. 2, 1, okay, relax it there. So what I'm going to do now is try and get you to tackle the hip flexors. So we're not going to get the full hip flexor because it sits across the full joint, but I want you to get the bit that sits just under the hip. But this one's going to be more of a static, so we're not going to quite roll. We're just going to hold it. Ideally, you're going to tilt to one side again. So get up to where that bone is and drop down. So you're only going to have like a couple of inches movement here. Going to set the timer now. So again, one leg out to the side. If you can see here, I'm using both of my hands to apply some body weight to try and take pressure off this hip flexor, because they're super tight. So only small movement needed here. You try and keep relatively central, so you don't want to tilt too far over. You want to try and keep your chest facing down as much as you possibly can. Okay, we're going to swap legs. So that was one of the smaller muscle groups, so we're only going to do 30 seconds. Okay, and switch over to the other side in 3, 2, 1. Off we go, just 30 seconds. Again, if you've got that tight spot, we're going to hold it there and then continue to roll. Hopefully you guys are hanging in okay. Don't forget to breathe. Take as much rest as you need. So before we head on up to more upper body, don't worry, we're going to have a bit of a drink break. 3, 2, 1. Okay, relax it there. Grab yourself a drink. Take really deep breaths. Get that oxygen flowing back. Let the muscles relax. So, oh, where's it gone? Have any of you got one of these? Or a tennis ball? Anything that's nice and small. So for example, my knot is just outside of the shoulder blade. So it's part of the muscle work that allows you to retract your shoulders. So for example, Jim, with you, because you're like me, you know, used to sitting in that desk having them shoulders arched forward, when you then go to the gym and you open up that body, you allow those shoulders to draw back, because those muscles are like, what? You don't normally use me, what's going on? They really tighten up. So you'll get parts of the shoulders in particular where you've got super knotty bits, and that helps you to get that a little bit deeper. So if you have a look at the difference in size, so these are quite big, Whereas if you look at the spikes on here, you can get much deeper into the muscle fibre. Looks like a tumble dryer ball. It could pass as one, couldn't it? Amazing how much that hurts. It's crazy. Okay, right, we're going to move on to that upper body section now. So we're going to start off, we're going to split the back up a little bit. So to start off, we're going to do the lower back. So you're going to roll from just above the hip bone to just below the shoulders. So about halfway of your back. Let me tilt this way so you can see. With this one, pop your weight through both legs. You're just going to roll back and forth. As always, you can put a little bit more pressure into one side. So say if you're doing that and it feels like it's not really doing a lot, you're just going to allow your body to shift weight to one side and then roll it that way. So for example, then I was leaning my body to the left, so I'm just going to feel that slight extra pressure through that left side. So it's up to you how you tackle this one. So I'm going to do it for a minute. So I'll let you know when it's halfway if you're going for that half-side approach, and then you can swap over to the other side. Okay, off we go. So I'm going to go for the option where I'm leaning my body weight into my left side to start off with. Just so you can get a little bit deeper into the muscle belly. But I know this is going to be extremely painful. See, I'm shuffling back again. So feel free to do it equal on both sides. You've got about 5 seconds and then we're halfway. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now I'm going to put and roll my weight onto the right side. See what Amy's got. I miss seeing everyone else face to face too. It's horrible not being able to leave the house other than for a walk or a quick run. Miss you all. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and rest it there. So now we're going to move to that upper section of the back. But if you remember my rule earlier, you don't roll over bone. So if you think about when your shoulders are retracted back, it's pretty much just bone. So we want to move that bone out of the way. The best way that I find to get those shoulder blades out of the way is to put your hands kind of on your ears and point your elbows up to the ceiling. Move my hair out of the way. So yeah, if you've got a ponytail, move it out of the way, else you'll get sucked up underneath. So I'm going to put that weight into that upper back. I'm going to lean back. So with this one, you're going to feel like you want to kind of tilt your head up, but you want to try and keep your back down as much as possible. So aim to look up to the ceiling for this one to really get as much weight through that back as you can. So moving those shoulders out of the way through the hands. I'm going to set the timer now. So same rules apply. I'm going to start off leaning my body weight to the right. Let's see if I can see. It's not honest. So keep it going. I'm putting my body weight to that right hand side and I'm moving my shoulder blades out of the way to get deep into those muscles that sit under the shoulder blade by lifting my arms up in the air. So remember, try and look up to the ceiling so that you're not bending that spine. You want to put as much pressure through as you can. Okay, I'm going to switch and do the other half of the upper back. Oopsie, my hair's got tucked under there, so be careful, guys. So nice and slow. If you feel the extra knotty bit, hold it for that 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, that's 1 minute up. Next one, guys, this is where it's going to hurt a little bit more, if that one wasn't bad enough. So now we're going to do kind of the side here. So again, I'm going to use my elbow and my feet to take some of the weight out, and I'm going to use my arm to let my body rock forwards and backwards. Okay, let's charge it up now. Okay, so we're going to try for a minute here. Off we go. So weight through the arm, weight through the legs. It's great, isn't it? On the upper back. That's my favourite bit. Although it's the most painful bit for me, you know it's doing a good job. So if you guys think that I'm making it look easy, I'm actually really, really tight. Apparently, every time I have a sports massage, they say I have a really high pain threshold, so we'll go with that. Because I am extremely tight. Lots of knots in the minute, particularly around the shoulders. Feels great on shoulders, I'm glad. Okay, we've got 20 seconds left. Remember, try not to hunch that shoulder too much. I'm rolling out of the way of the frame again. So you've got just over 5 seconds, so it's starting to get super painful for me now. 3, 2, 1. That's it. Okay, switch and face the other side. So same again. Weight through your legs, weight through the arm. Off we go. So you can see here, this side's even tighter than the other side for me. So I'm now dropping my weight down to my hip to take some weight out of the roller. So super burning now. So for me now, it's going to be a bit more like a shuffle. And now, so I've just found a bit of a knot, so I'm going to hold it there. 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to carry on. So it's hard to describe when you're going to feel a knot. It'll feel a bit like a ping. So as you roll over the muscle, okay, and relax there, that's that 1 minute. So as you roll over the muscles, particularly around the shoulders, as you get to the opposite side of the muscle, you'll feel it ping back a little bit. So that's how you can kind of sense a knot. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a bit of a weird one. Okay, the next one is going to be more, again, of a static hold. I'm going to do it for slightly less time, this one. You're going to get, I know I said earlier about the joints, but this is the only one where you can do it kind of on the joint because there's a muscle that goes over the top. So you're going to make sure, kind of like a side plank, so make sure, imagine your back is against a wall. You're just going to keep that back line against it. You're just going to hold it right. It's kind of like under the armpit a little bit. Starting now. Feel like I need one too, Liz. Can I book in? But trust me, guys, that can go a long way. I think they do them on eBay for like, I think I only got that for like £3 maybe. But it's amazing how much deeper you can get into it. So if you think these are tough, that's super tough. Okay, we're going to go for just over 10 more seconds. So this might feel a little bit snug. Feel free to drop it a little bit more if you feel like you find another tight spot. So just kind of play it by ear. If you feel something a little bit knotty, a little bit extra sore, hold it there. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to change and face the other way. Is it? No, it's not a tribal. Okay, time starts now. There's many names for them, so you can get them where there's like 2 back to back and they're attached. I've got one in my room. I'm going to get it a bit later. That's called a peanut. This one, I just call it a spiky ball. You can get a tennis ball. A tennis ball will still allow you to get into those tougher spots, particularly around the shoulders, but because it's not got the spikes on. So if you think about how the muscles work, so it's called the sliding filament theory. So you guys carry on, but I'm just going to give you a quick demo. So if you think about every time your muscle moves, these filaments come over each other. So say when I'm lifting my bicep, those fibres overlap to allow that muscle to shorten. So say that's your full muscle. Eventually, as you tighten it up, it's going to come to here. So over time, your muscle might only come back here. So this is where flexibility comes in. So if your muscle's only coming back to here, there's all that extra tissue here that's tightened up. Okay, you guys can relax there. So by allowing this ball to get into that little bit there that's not quite coming off, it just allows those fibres to break off, loosen up and gradually come out. So that's the best way I can describe that. So it just allows you to get a little bit deeper into that tissue. So the same sliding filament theory works for this, but that just allows you to get a little bit deeper into those little fibres. Okay, let's see what we have next. Okay, oh, this is going to be a sore one, guys. This time, you're going to face the foam roller this way. So kind of like it's in line with you. Then, so we're doing the chest. So you're going to allow your chest to sit on the roller. Then you're just going to kind of roll from side to side. So if you can see, I'm kind of using my elbows to allow my weight to shift from side to side. Are we ready? Off we go. So aiming for a minute if we can. Again, take regular breaks if you need to. You're just going to roll from left to right. Again, so I've just found a bit of a tight bit there, so I'm going to hold it there before I carry on. Loving the science here. Yeah, I should call it a science lesson, shouldn't I? Not a foam rolling session. Best way I can get you to see the benefits of those little balls, eh? Don't think I've ever demoed it like that in my life with my arms. First time for everything. Okay, so I'm going to carry on now. Oh, I found another tight bit, so I'm going to hold it there. So yeah, as soon as you feel a tight bit, just hold it. I've got 10 seconds to go, so now I'm going to carry on. You can see I'm gradually moving that way again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to quickly take a drink break. Feel free if you guys need to as well. Okay, now we're going to do the other side of the chest. Are we ready? Off we go. So roll from left to right. Trying to apply as much body weight through it as you can to really increase the pressure of the foam roller. So keep it going. So keep going while I have a look at these comments. It says see more. Must be a long one. Yeah, that's another good point. Well done, Liz. So this, if you see, if I push it, it doesn't soften up. So I've got another one that if I press it, it just kind of squidge in a little bit. So the hard balls are better, obviously a bit more painful. 3, 2, 1. So you can get some packs on like eBay where you get one hard ball and one soft ball. I would potentially recommend getting one where you can have both, so you can start off with the soft one, see how you feel, and then move on to this one. Because I will tell you, this is a very mean piece of equipment. Okay, next up we are going to do the tricep. So now you're going to twist and have the foam roller facing the other way. You're going to have your arms so that your palms facing up. You might feel better to kind of lie down on this one. And again, you just kind of shuffle forwards and backwards. Ready? Starting now. So rolling, trying to get as much of the muscle belly as you possibly can. Glad you're liking the science lesson, guys. Let me know if you want any more, if you have any questions. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to switch over to the other side. And same again, rolling forwards and backwards. So with this upper body section, you're going to want to put a little bit less of your body weight through it. Just rolling back and forth, palms facing up. Again, the foam roller is making its way down. In 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Next up, we're going to do the neck. So, I'm going to face this way. Try and put your neck on it a bit like you would rest on a pillow. So have it so the roller is just, you might get a few cracks like I just did. So just above the shoulder, just letting it sit in the dip where your neck would sit. From there, you're going to imagine you say no to someone. So you're just going to rock your head from left to right. We're going to do this one for a minute because this one might be super tight for you guys. Off we go. So saying no, rocking your head from left to right. So this one, my lower body is completely rested on the floor. I'm not putting any body weight through other than the weight of my head through this one. You don't want to put too much body weight through the neck. So don't forget to breathe, deep breath in and deep breath out. Left to right. Ten seconds to go. And 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Okay guys, so there are some additional body parts that you can foam roller over, but those are kind of your main full body approach. You don't really want to do your stomach, that's not a good idea. So yeah, like the chest through the arms, so like the bicep, you can just roll out to the side. In fact, we'll do that one now. So it's kind of like a similar position to how we did the chest, but you're just going to have the roller on your bicep instead. So weight through there. Again, I'm just going to use my other arm here to just let my body rock from side to side. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side, starting now. Here's the brainy one. Definitely not too bad yourself, Liz. Definitely a smarty pants. Felt great on the neck. I know, it's amazing how much tension that we actually have in that upper back, because I have a sports massage in my upper back and sort of around the shoulders, a little bit in the neck. I would say between 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, now we're going to switch sides, and I'm probably just over that threshold now, because obviously we can't have a sports massage at the moment, so I'm doing extra uses of the foam roller, of the ball, because I'm really feeling the consequences at the minute of not having that sports massage. In an ouch kind of way. I know, it's from leaning over, like it's like, even if you think, so keep going guys, I'm just going to give you a quick demo. So like even when I'm walking, sometimes like you're looking down at what's in front of you rather than opening up and looking forward. So the last few days in particular, you can relax there. I've been really thinking about really trying to keep that back up. It's like even when you watch telly, you just gradually let your body relax. So it's just about giving those cues to try and pop yourself back into position. So that's why I'm extra tight, because the first few days of isolation, my body was just like, what do I do? So it's now seized up because I didn't do enough of this at the start. Okay, so that's like the end of the different exercises that I'd planned. So we've got a little bit of extra time now. So if there's any body parts that you guys enjoyed, if I can say that word, we're going to do some extra ones of those. So if you guys just comment, let me know what areas you liked the most. So Jim, I think you said you liked the shoulders. I'm guessing the neck was quite a popular one. So just comment below and we can do some extras of those enjoyable body parts. So grab a drink if you need one. So what's everyone thinking? There's no kind of right or wrong answer here. So for me, today for example, I've used this twice, but that's because I have got that knot in my shoulder that I'm trying to loosen up. But in reality, 2-3 times a week, if you could do it after every session, you would feel the benefits. But it's one of those things where there's no like set number where you have the perfect level of flexibility and mobility. It's just a case of do it as much as you can. 2 or 3 times a week would do the job. After every session would be most beneficial. So just try and get yourself into a bit of a routine. So like, try and do it when you get home from a session or in the morning to wake you up. It's like I've started doing yoga in the morning, and it's amazing how much it does lift your spirits. So just as much as you can, really. Light to the neck. Felt it was needed most on my legs. Oh, I'm surprised, because you seem to have very flexible legs, if I remember correctly from the studio. So yeah, I'm surprised by that. I'd have thought you'd have mainly had it upper body, because yeah, I'm sure you've got super flexible legs. But that just goes to show flexibility isn't an accurate representation. So like when we're stretching at the end of a session at the studio, we're working on flexibility. So you're still trying to unknot those fibres. So like I was saying earlier, by stretching out, you're allowing that muscle to kind of lengthen back out. But if you think about along those lines, so if you think about the hairs on my arms as knots, you're not going to be able to get into them knots without something like this or like this. So these allow you to get those hairs or knots, to say, but the stretching allows you to get that flexibility back. So they both have different benefits. Lower back felt painful, and the neck. Right, so what we're going to do then for this last couple of minutes, we're going to go back to the back. So we're going to start off with the lower back. So get yourself into position. Oh, having a paddy, 1 second guys, sorry. Oh, it's had a complete meltdown. Right, I'll use my watch. Okay. It'll work if oh, it's come back on. Sorry guys, I'm having a techno nightmare. Right, okay, lower back, off we go. So this time I'm just going to stick to doing both sides evenly. I'm not going to roll onto one side, but it's completely up to you how you want to tackle it. So keep going, I'll see what it says. Do you roll on the ball too, or still? 2 different approaches. So you guys carry on with that one. I'm just going to show you. So for example, at the minute, my knot's in the shoulder. So I'm going to find that knot. I'm going to let my head relax on the roller, and then I'm going to hold it. You want to hold it for sort of 10 to 15 seconds. That's what they recommend to really break the adhesions down in the muscle tissue. Then you can sort of roll. So for example, I can feel a little bit of tightness if I roll it that way. So if I move my body left a little bit, I find another tight bit. So yeah, you just kind of roll it around, but you do want to hold it in place. So relax it there if you were doing the lower body. Shoulders rolling on the ball. Okay, so I've just showed you that little bit there in the shoulder. So hold in one place for 10 to 15 seconds and then move it around. So you can either kind of move your body across, so like I did then, I was like moving my body left to right. You can either do it like that, or you can just kind of use your hand to keep getting up. So for example, if I want to change position, I might lift up, just move the ball, and then set myself back down. So doing your shoulders, it's best to let your head relax on the roller. For example, a couple of days ago I was trying it with a pillow, but the pillow was kind of too low. It depends on the size of the ball, that's the best way I can say. So for the size of this ball, having a foam roller was best to rest my head on. But for example, my other ball, the soft one that I've got, is quite a bit bigger. So if I was to use the pillow comes to about here. So it's like half the size of the roller. So then it kind of makes you arch your back. So that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to get that arch. So having your head rested on something, be it a pillow, foam roller, just try and lift your head. So that's in the shoulder area. But for example, if I was to go in the glute, I'd put it in a bit where I feel like it's super tight. Again, just hold it there, 10 to 15 seconds, change it over. But if you do have a hard ball, be prepared, they are brutal. So feel free. So for example, if you do it in the shoulder, do it against the wall. you just want to try any way that you possibly can to try and take some tension off, because to go straight into this, if you're finding this difficult, it's gonna burn. So yeah, just do what you listen to your body, do what your body's telling you. So if it feels like it's too much, you do want to feel discomfort, because at gym, if you think about when you had a sports massage, how painful it was, your brain kind of tells you to stop. So for me, for example, when I first used this, I didn't really get that same pain as I do after a sports massage, because your brain just doesn't want you to inflict pain upon yourself. So try and listen to it a bit, but at the same time, you do want to try and break them adhesions down. So let's see. Anyone got any other comments or anything else they'd like to see? Yeah, so against the wall. Liz agrees. Go against the wall if you need to. So yeah, any final questions? I'm here. If you want to do the neck again, you know the technique now. So yeah, just rolling, like saying no to someone, left to right, holding your weight on the foam roller. So I'll give you guys a few more seconds if you've got any extra questions. The peanut, right, I'll grab the peanut, 1 second. Okay, I've had a tidy up in my room, so I don't know where I've put the peanut. But I've got my other softball. So you can see there's quite a bit of a size difference here. You can get many different ones. So this one's soft, so look, you can see that I can push these pins down. So it's a little bit softer, whereas these aren't moving. These are not moving at all. So a peanut is basically two of these stuck together. So imagine these were the same size. It just looks like that. So for your spine, for example, if you were to put a peanut either side of your spine, you can roll it up and down, so you can have that tension release through either side of the spine. So it's kind of like, rather than having to stick to one side and then change, it just allows you to have less time doing it, basically. Huge difference, yeah. So you can get loads of different ones. The smaller they are, the more you can dig deep into little knots. But these ones obviously kind of ease you in a little bit. So let me just show you one on the glute. So the bigger ones are the best ones for this. So like, just take a seat and you put the ball at the side of the glute, and then just kind of let your body tip into it. So that's another way that you can use it. Loads of different ways, many ways. So yeah, a peanut is basically just two kind of glued together. If I find it, I'll send you a picture. So any last questions? You all enjoyed your science lesson. Any more? What is the time? Okay. Right, I'll leave it there then, guys, if you've not got any more questions. If you do have any more questions, just comment below at any time. I'll see it anyway, and I can get back to you. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed your science lesson. eBay, £3, something like that. Just grab whatever you can, even a tennis ball, something that can get into those trickier areas around the shoulders. Do you worry about the spine? So yeah, like anything, you want to try and keep a neutral spine. So, for example, you might feel like you want to kind of arch here, but it's really key. So I always put my hands, mainly to get my hair out of the way, so I put my hands like behind my head and then roll back and forth. So like I was saying earlier about trying to look up to the ceiling, I'm keeping that neutral spine now, because I'm allowing my head to drop back, I'm not leaning up. Always try and keep a neutral spine. You don't want to let your body kind of mould into the roller. Send me a picture of your dryer ball. I'm really intrigued, and I'll let you know if it's appropriate to use. So yeah, I will leave it there, guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'm sure I'll see you all soon. Have a lovely evening.